was equal or maybe not as bad in some ways. Great happened because of all of the progressive ideas to cure it. How was this cured? This is after Woodrow Wilson. After the war, after the progressives got into office with Woodrow Wilson, Teddy Roosevelt had his progressive party. Oh, I've got big plans. And Woodrow Wilson said, well, he's a crazy man. I'm not going to be quite as progressive as that. So Woodrow Wilson gets in and he gives us the Fed. How's that working out for us, huh? So he gives us the Fed. Then he gives us the, let's remember this, America, progressive income tax. He gives us the income tax. Then he also says, you know what? Boy, people are just so stupid. They don't know what's good for them. Oh, they're going to be so unhealthy. And we all want health care. Teddy Roosevelt was the first one to say we should have universal health care. Oh, they're going to be unhealthy. We can't get that universal health care thing done. But you know what we can do? We should limit some of their choices. Prohibition. So he took away the alcohol. Progressive plan to take care of everyone. Then he promised he wasn't going to get us into war because they're a party of peace, peace and progress. And we went right to World War I. Then they gave us the Treaty of Versailles, which I believe led to Hitler, but I could be mistaken on that. Then the last thing was they said, we're going to take care of everything, don't worry about it. Because right now what we're going to do is we're going to have a global organization oversee everything. The League of Nations. Well, this is when America went nuts and said, no, thank you. No, thank you. So what did Woodrow Wilson say? I'm not kidding you. Well, they don't understand it. I've got to give more speeches. He got onto a train and made whistle stops to give speeches, and people rejected it. Okay? Sound familiar at all? The American people rejected it. And they were so freaked out about the whole progressive movement that progressives decided to change their name. We're liberals. I hate those progressive things. We're liberals. That's what we are. Ever notice, where did the progressives go? Where did they come from? All of a sudden, I'm not a liberal, I'm a progressive. It was the opposite 100 years ago. I'm not a progressive, I'm a liberal. I mean, they keep changing their names every time they wake America up to their policies. They have to change their names. What are they going to be next? The Royal Order of the Orange. It doesn't matter. They're running out of names. So we get out of World War I, and this is the shape America is in. So Warren Harding gets in. He starts for a little bit. He has a heart attack. But I think that may be through divine providence, maybe a little bit, because Calvin Coolidge comes in. Calvin Coolidge. I'm reading about him, I don't know, 6 months ago, and I'm like, I seem to remember, wasn't that one of Ronald Reagan's favorite presidents? For a reason. Calvin Coolidge, he gets in, and what do they do between him and Harding? They lower taxes. Taxes go from just a small 77% to 25%. Here's the important part. Spending dropped by 50%. That's the key. If everybody's freaking out about how is China going to loan us any more money, here's the secret. They have to believe that we're serious. We can't be Tiger Woods and then go out and say, boy, you like that speech? That was a good speech. Hey, Toots, you look hot, huh? The rest of the world must know that America is serious. And the only thing that will convince them of that is not another speech, but action. So what happened? Well, unemployment. It is the lowest unemployment rate in peacetime in the history of America. It also caused the Roaring Twenties. And I can guarantee you they're writing, probably right up there right now, they're writing, ha 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 ha. He's saying the Roaring Twenties were good. Yes. The Roaring Twenties, it was the largest expansion of the middle class ever. People started having telephones and that evil electricity and cars and radios. So what happened? What happened? Hoover came in. Hoover came in a progressive, by the way. Hoover came in and said, really, what has to happen is we're going to leave the taxes here, but this is crazy. We've got to spend more money. Everything shimmied apart. And people made stupid moves as well. But the reason why it didn't turn around as quickly as it did in the 1920s is because the progressives said, I will save it. I will not waste this emergency. I will create agencies and create agencies of help for the poor American that just can't pull themselves out. The guy who helped design the New Deal tried and tried and tried. One of the very good friends of Franklin Roosevelt, Morgenthau, he said, this is, I believe, 1938, in front of Congress, we've tried spending money. We're spending more money than we've ever spent before, and it does not work. We don't need to export democracy. We do not need to be the people that say, we're going to go over there and we're going to free all of these people and then we are going to plant democracy. We don't need to do that. The best way to transplant democracy is through example. Through example. When I was struggling in my life and I was at the bottom of the barrel and I realized I had no answers and I was hungry and I was poor and I was tired, I didn't look at other people. You come knocking at my door, back off, Jack, shut up about your answers. What I did is I looked at successful, happy people. I looked at people and then I really examined their lives. What makes them happy? What makes them successful? What makes them tick? I wanted it. I searched it out. I learned from them. Everything has changed. Since the progressives came, everything changed. George Washington, that big, gigantic painting that's now in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, that's not the original. That was the second. The first one, it was destroyed in World War II in a museum in Germany. Why was it in Germany? Because an American German painted it for his fellow countrymen. Because they were looking at, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Remember, Nietzsche, Marx, coming from Germany. People were struggling for answers. He painted an enormous painting of our founders. Not for us, for them. Look at this example. The Statue of Liberty. What? Come on. When's the last time France did anything without some strings? They did it for them? No. The French didn't give it to us because there was, look at us, we want to say hello to our friends and give them this enormous statue. What is that? The French did it, see if you can get your arms around this concept. The French did it to mock, but not us, Europe. If you know anything, look it up when you get home. The Colossus of Rhodes, a giant statue that stood astride by the harbor, holding a lamp like this. The Colossus of Rhodes was the idea behind the designer of Lady Liberty. But totally different. Colossus of Rhodes is like this, and then, watch this.